In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the blue model of cash discounting, dual priced cash discounting. Tap on step one. Okay, now there's a lot of different ways to do dual pricing. You could leave the inventory the cash price and raise it real time. That's what this model would do, this red one, as well as this whole family here. Or you may not have any inventory at all, and that's what this green one would do. But in this video, we're talking about this blue right here, where you have inventory that you want that's cash priced. Okay, your current inventory is cash priced. We will inflate those cash prices to be the new card prices in your inventory, and then later on I'll show you how to use it, but you'll be able to offer a discount for cash. Okay, if your inventory is already card priced, you could choose this purple model right here. So you don't need us to inflate the prices because the inventory is already cash priced. Okay. So that's what the difference is between the purple and the blue here. You can use the purple if your inventory is already card priced, okay? But let's go ahead and use this blue. You tap on it. First thing is a sanity check. Yes, you want to inflate prices and offer a cash discount, okay? And then you give it the percent you want to inflate prices by. Like you can say a 4 or a 4.00 or 3.5. You can do double decimals, 3.99. In my case here, we're just going to do a 4. Okay, 4%. Now, when you're inflating prices, you have an option here. Okay, this is optional. When we inflate the prices, the question here is, do you want to round the new inflated price to the nearest 5 or 9? Okay, and if you do, you want to check this. This is useful if you're going to republish your menus or if you sell things online and you just want those inflated prices to look a little sharper. This will make sure every inflated price ends in a 0, a 5, or a 9. It'll always round up to the near 0, 5, or 9, up, not down. And if you use this, you need to be sure you're aware that the original cash price will now be off by 1 to 4 pennies because we still have to honor the cash discount amount. Okay, I'm not going to use it, but you can. Okay, but I'm going to tap done right here. See, now what we'll do is we will modify the inventory that's already selected. If you've not already added inventory, we recommend you do that before you do the setup, but you can do it afterwards by just tapping this little audit button you can see here at the bottom after you've already done the setup. This audit would be after you've imported all the items if you're using an import, okay? But in the future, when you add items, you want to add them with the cash price, and we'll automatically raise them to the card price for the business, okay? Enter cash price, it'll go up automatically to the card price, okay? See, now we tell you the exact customer cash discount. In this case, you might ask, why is this 3.85? I thought we put in 4, okay? The reason is, I'll give you an example. If you go from $10 item and you raise it 4%, that item now costs $10.40, okay? But if you go back from $10.40 back to $10, which is the intention of the business, that is technically a 3.85% drop from the 1040. Okay, so when you go from 10 to 1040, that's a 4% price raise. When you go from 1040 back to 10, that's technically a 3.85% discount. Okay, so we're just informing you that. We're basically just helping you know that that's the actual discount that's being applied. Okay, then after you do step one, you would do step two, and you're choosing basically if you need order bills or not, and if you need tipping or not on the printouts. Okay, we're not setting up tipping, and that's something you do in your Clover setup. Okay, like a sit-down restaurant, you usually get a piece of paper that shows you your bill so that you can give your card and they can give you a payment. Okay, so the bill, if you need it, it's a sit down. If you don't need it, but you still do tips, your counter service. If you don't need either one of those, it's retail. If you do retail, but you also have EBT that needs to get the cash price, then you would select this. Okay, payments only, again, it's for no inventory. Don't use this if you have inventory. Okay, but I'm going to choose sit down right here. Step three, you're choosing the hardware. You're basically going to choose the blue here if you have any Clover customer-facing devices. Okay, Clover customer-facing would be like a Clover Duo, where there's a Mini that faces the customer, and this is going to show the dual prices to the customer. So it's really nice if you need to use it. Even in the future, if you're going to have a Duo, then go ahead and choose this, and it doesn't even have to be the device you're setting up on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and choose this, and then I can tap done. or you can watch this video on dual pricing. It's a great video. It explains the difference between dual pricing and a service fee. So make sure you watch it because there are requirements to display or show the cash price and the card price of each item to the customer. Okay, that's part of Visa requirements. Okay, so that's a setup. And after you do the setup, by the way, you can choose right here and customize pop-up. There's an option here, report employee of cash price on card payment. We recommend you use this option. Okay, if you haven't already set it, go ahead. The reason is we'll have a report, on device report, and this type right here, cash price or card payment. I'll show you where this is useful. But basically, if an employee gives a cash price for a card payment, you can show which employees did that. And that's really useful. And then it'll reset itself when you tap the print. Okay. This report that you can get, this on-device report, will also include your, it's not technically a fee. It's really the difference between the cash price and the card price. But you can see a breakout of all those quote fees on this on-device report, and you can even choose date ranges and things and print it out. Okay. So that's useful. Let me go ahead and show you how to use it. By the way, if you ever need to revert your prices, you can tap on items and revert prices right here. We're guarantee that any price that we inflated, we will revert, and we'll do it perfectly and only one time. Okay, so that's available. We do recommend after you inflate the inventory, tap this inventory button. It takes you to the Clover inventory app. Tap this sync button right here. Okay, the reason is sometimes Clover doesn't inflate all their prices. Okay, I mean it doesn't sync all their inventory to that device immediately sometimes. And so that makes sure that all your prices were taken care of. Also in the inventory, we added this important cash discount token. Just leave it alone. Make sure the business knows to leave it alone. Don't delete it. It tells us that you've modified your inventory. Okay. Also, if you don't have internet, we do have an internet check built in. Okay. There's a lot of other options on a different video you can watch where you can customize like the pop-up and the size of the pop-up and things like that. Or the handling of the math. Sometimes you need like discounts, like $1 off on Tuesdays or something, and you want to make that discount exact. That's what's going to be there. So there's a lot of options. We'll talk about that. In the future, whenever the business adds any new items, make sure that they add them with the cash price, and we'll automatically inflate them to the card price. Okay, but if they add it using Quick Edit, or if you use it by importing using an Excel spreadsheet, Clover will not inflate those prices automatically. There's an audit button right here. See this audit? Okay, you can tap that button anytime you need, and what it'll do is it'll automatically check all the inventory, and any item that has not been updated, it'll automatically update it. Those in separate videos. Let me show you how to use it. Okay, let's say you're on the Clover Dining, and let's say you have a table, and it's got all these items on it, and here, let's go ahead and just say the whole table has something, and then under a guest, you have some other items, and we're just going to make some things up here. These are, okay, so basically, you've got some items on the dining app. This could be the register also. At the top, if you chose sit down, you're going to have this magic button. You can hold it down and slowly move it if you need to, okay? If you tap bill, we're going to print a bill that shows a cash and card total for that'll print out for you so that it's available to give to the customer. Don't use the Clover print bill at the bottom. Use our bill, okay? Guests will print a separate ticket for each individual guest, okay? Or you can actually tap on a guest name and choose this print options category right here, and you can choose to print just in one particular guest bill if you need to. Okay, so all that's available, but basically this is only going to be available if you're a sit-down restaurant and you need a bill. You can also choose to print a dual priced bill that shows not only the cash and card total at the bottom, but a cash and card price for each individual item. Okay, so that's available at the top, but let's go ahead and say you chose it. You would tap pay, and you're going to get a pop-up with the card price and the cash price. If you choose the cash price, okay. Sorry, a few technical difficulties there, but yeah, so you see there's a discount for $1.65 that's being offered. And then if the customer changes their mind and they want to pay with card, at the bottom in this other section, you can choose cash card. You can see it again. You can see the pop-up again. Now, By the way, you can also split by items, so you can choose which items you want to split out into its own order. You don't need to do this on the dining app, but on the register, this could be pretty useful. Okay. Or you can also split by amount. Like let's say you want to give out of this amount, you want to pay $10 with cash. You split by amount, and then see up here at the top, split custom amount. And let's say I want to do a custom amount of $10. Okay. So this is how you do it. This way Clover set up pay, and then I would choose $10, pay cash. Okay, so now take next payment, and in this case, I'm going to say, let's say I want to split I'm going to split by amount again. Okay, now what you're going to see is, see there's a partial discount for the $10 that was paid, and it's asking for the next payment. Okay, and I'm going to say the remainder I'm going to split two ways and pay. So that one's one payment, and the next payment, I'm just going to pay it all. Okay, so basically, guess what I'm trying to show you here is that, let's just go to the register and do this again. But so you can add, you add items into your order. You can tap the bill if you need to, or you can tap pay. And then when you see this pop up, you can split out items. You can pay split by amount, and you'll get a partial discount for cash if you so desire. You can also get a second chance to print those bills if you need them right there. Okay, and if a employee chooses the cash price and then decides to pay by card, then you can do that if you'd like. That's useful if you have like a longtime customer, or if you're transitioning and you need to inform your longtime customers, you can say, hey, this time I'm going to charge you cash price, but remember next time you're going to be charged the card payment because we're switching to dual pricing. So you can do that, but if you feel like this feature is going to be abused, then that's where you could report any employee that uses a cash price or card payment, like I showed you on the setup. Okay, remember that was right here. You tap on customize, pop up, and you choose this box, report employee of cash price on card payment. Okay, that won't work if the employee is an admin or a manager. Okay, but then under reports, you'll be able to see right here under cash price or card payment, you'd be able to see anyone who did that. So that can dissuade anyone from doing it if you need. Okay, that's now what you want to do is you do want to go to all your other devices. Make sure you tap on the Cash Pro app on all of your other devices. When you tap on the app, you'll see the sync complete and you'll be done. You may need to go to the inventory and tap the sync button right here. If you're on a little device like a Flex, the sync button is hidden under these three lines right here. Okay, it'll be right here. Okay, but either way, you do want to make sure that on all the other devices you tap on the Cash Pro app, and then you'll be done with the setup.